Yep.
Let's change sports. Talk a little Guardians.
Yeah.
Travis Bazzana got hurt. Before we dive into that bull, tell us about Menu RX.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my guy, Dr. Jake May, this morning. We were talking. We do our weekly sit-downs every Wednesday morning. And if you're serious about getting results for your training and nutrition but haven't quite hit your goals, it might be time to stop guessing and start personalizing with Menu RX. Menu RX uses cutting-edge metabolic testing to analyze your body's internal process. What does that mean? It means they have scientists and nutritionists who use science to help you as an individual with your weight or body shaping goals. This is not a one-size-fits-all. It's personal for you. And so if you've ever felt stuck trying to figure out what lifestyle changes will actually work for you long-term, with Menu RX, it's like having a full team of scientists, dietitians, and doctors crafting a plan just for you, plus one-on-one consultations on top of that. Not based on trends and nonsense that you see on Instagram, but on your molecular data. Visit MenuRx.com today to schedule your consultation and experience what metabolic testing can do for your performance, body composition, and long-term health. And right now, when you sign up for a Menu RX plan at menu-rx.com, you'll get a free year-long UCSS subscription. Again, that's free. What's that, $60, Mike?
Yeah.
So you get a free subscription to be a member of UCSS for a year when you sign up for a Menu RX plan. Again, check out the website, menu-rx.com. Stop guessing and start unlocking your full potential.
But we have breaking news here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
Yeah.
We have a resolution to the Tush Push. The NFL has voted to keep the Tush Push in 2025. According to Diana Rossini, 10 teams voted against the Packers' proposal to ban the Tush Push per sources. If 8 or more voted that way, it would have been shut down.
So they needed 24 votes.
They needed 24.
And they got 22.
Correct, which means the Tush Push is here to stay. You and I had talked before the show started. Yeah. We were ready to eviscerate the league for the biggest sore loser move ever if they ban the Tush Push. But it is here to stay. Tyvis, Dustin, Bull, your reaction to the NFL. What do you guys think?
I hate the Tush Push, but, I mean, who am I to say that?
Do you think it should have been banned?
I do.
Why?
It's not an aesthetically pleasing football play.
Oh, all right. But you don't think I get what you're saying. Don't you think it comes off as a sore loser move though to do it after the Eagles win?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, but I don't like. I mean, I didn't have a dog in the fight in the Super Bowl, and I didn't like watching it.
Yeah.
I don't like when it's a gimme.
It doesn't really feel, but it hasn't been a gimme for other teams.
Yes, it has.
I mean,
I
would love to see the success rate, like from Eagles aside.
Do you know before 2005, the Tush Push was illegal? Before 2005, you could not on
Reggie
any play.
Bush cheated.
Right. Well, yeah.
The Bush push is what I think they call it.
Did they? I don't remember that term.
He pushed Matt Leinart.
He did, yeah. That's what they called it.
It was against, I think, Notre Dame. And
it was, correct.
Do we know the 10 teams that voted against it, Mike?
Has not come out yet. This has been literally out for less than 3 minutes.
Cleveland Browns.
I would be curious to see how Cleveland voted.
They don't do it, do they? We don't do the Tush Push, do we?
Well, they didn't with Deshaun. They did with Flacco and Winston for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Winston.
They did the Tush Push with Flacco?
Remember they handed it off to Ford, and he, took off up the sideline. Wasn't that him?
Yeah,
that's not the. What do you mean? That's not the.
They
Tush
came
Push?
out in the formation like they was gonna do the Tush Push, and they pitched it to Ford, and he took off.
Isn't it funny that the name of this has become the Tush Push?
I do want to know.
I will say.
Now, what they call it, brotherly shove.
Yeah. I will say, to your point, Dustin, it doesn't feel like a football play.
To me, it looks like a rugby play.
Yeah, it really is.
And we're not playing rugby; we're playing American football.
No. I thought it was a sore loser move to vote against it just because you couldn't stop it. And the other teams are not as good at it. I mean, maybe there are some other teams, but you don't really hear it talked about as a regular thing with anybody else. For the Eagles, it's a guarantee. I mean, they get it every time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Eagles could probably line up and run it, 10 times in a row.
That's what they should do to start the season.
I'd laugh.
Just run it 10 times.
Just do it like the first whole drive.
Yeah.
The Eagles last year converted 39 of 48 tush pushes.
Oh, wow. They actually failed 8 times.
9 times.
9 times. That's about 80% right there.
I didn't know that.
I thought they were.
The only way you're gonna do it is you got to time the snap.
Yeah, but how many of those is the down and distance the exact same on all of those?
Probably
no.
not.
I just Googled.
Because sometimes they do it in 4th and 2.
By the way, the Eagles' tush push success by year since Nick Sirianni took over. In 22, 92.3%. 23, 92.5%. 24, 82.4%.
They figuring it out.
All right, so
you got to
went down a little bit.
You got to time the snap and jump over and tackle the quarterback, like Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, I wonder if part of the reason they went down is because Jason Kelce retired and he wasn't. The center is one of the most important parts of that, and maybe that's why they weren't quite as good last year.
They center didn't make the Pro Bowl this past year?
I have no idea.
He did, but he's not. I mean, he's not Jason Kelce.
He's still not Jason Kelce. The guy has
yes.
all that experience. Kelce apparently was at the owners' meetings to make the argument for keeping the tush push, and I don't know if that made the difference for any teams. Probably not, but ultimately it doesn't.
I mean, do you like it?
I hadn't really thought about it like that. It's not aesthetically pleasing. I do agree with you. I do think it's not really a football play, but I just didn't love the idea of other teams saying, well, we can't do it, they can do it, so I'm going to take my ball and go home.
Yeah, I don't like that attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the attitude these teams have, and clearly it is for the teams like the Packers that obviously push for this to be banned.
Yeah.
I get that. That's kind of a sore loser mentality.
Yeah.
I just, as a football fan, don't like it. I don't like the new kickoff either.
I hate the new kickoff.
I mean, the new kickoff's so bad that they don't even show it on TV. They only show when the ball's kicked.
Yeah, that's true.
Dustin and Tyus, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that teams said they were in favor of banning the tush push was it was a health risk.
Oh, whatever.
And I haven't seen it. I'm genuinely asking because I don't understand that. I have yet to see data that points to why that play is any more or less dangerous than any halfback dive or fullback dive on 4th and 1, 4th and inches. Can you, as former NFL players, explain why that may put guys in a more?
I guess because you're going low
and
these guys are submarining at the line of scrimmage. I think
neck and head injuries.
Yeah, I mean
on the table.
Neck, head, obviously, and then also the lower extremities because if you're getting into somebody's knees or ankles, there's a lot of ligaments and things that could be damaged. Certainly a factor. That wasn't my priority when I thought about it. I just thought that it's just kind of not really a football play. I just don't think that other players should be pushing it.
Right. Is it any more dangerous, the things you mentioned, is that any more dangerous, though, than a traditional quarterback sneak on 4th and inches? I mean, aren't you trying to get low in that situation, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a different story. I mean, the quarterback's trying to find a little bit of a gap between the center and the guard, or going up or going low. I mean, there is a bit of a skill to that. Yeah. Tom Brady was and remains probably the all-time best at the quarterback sneak, and he wasn't the most athletic guy. Yeah,
might have been the least athletic guy.
Yeah.
By the way, if you had banned the tush push, I think that created some other stuff because there are other plays where running backs running,
forward progress gets stopped.
Then looks like and then the offensive linemen start pushing the pile. That happens quick, down the field too.
The game when Deshaun had that second half against Baltimore.
Yeah.
The defining play of that second half, in my opinion, was I think it was Jerome Ford got stuffed and the Browns pushed him 9 yards forward. Right. Plays like that would have been banned too because the rule would have banned any player from pushing a teammate forward.
Although, again, I don't know that I'm against that. If to Dustin's point, because those really don't feel like football play. Like offensive linemen going 5 yards downfield to push a running back for a first down doesn't really feel like a football play. But I don't know. I
have no issue with it.
There are so many changes.
Can we do other plays? Like, can we run like a toss sweep? And then have 3 guys behind the guy catching the toss, and then they just push him right.
I guess they could.
They could.
Yeah.
I have a stat for you guys real quick.
Yeah.
So Jory Epstein came on the show, I think it was last week.
Yeah.
She has her article up. It was previewing today's vote.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles and Bills have run the tush push play more than any other 2 teams the last 3 seasons.
Right.
Those 2 teams, their success rate on the tush push combined, so 6 seasons total.
Yeah.
87% success rate. The rest of the league success rate, 71% was the average.
Which is still pretty high.
So, but it's not unstoppable, is the point she was trying to paint there. Not unstoppable. Difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah, but I just wonder, you know what the thing is, though? Like, let's say, so the Eagles' success rate is probably what, 91% over the last 3 years?
92, 84.
Okay, so that probably averages out to about 89, 90 maybe?
88, yeah, 88.
Let's say 90, all right? If Jalen Hurts on all those plays just did a traditional quarterback sneak, how much lower would his successful percentage be? I don't know that it's going to be that much lower. But I guess
I mean, you wouldn't be doing it on 4th and 2. It'd be like 4th and inches.
That's true.
So
that's
if that's
fair.
the case,
That's fair.
yes,
Yeah.
you would. The success rate would be the same.
The success rate on 4th and 2 is probably not 90%. As opposed to
is that stat just any time they did the tush push?
Yeah.
Or is it specifically 4th and 1?
Just anytime they did the tush push.
Yeah.
That's probably where that 13% at is. They tried to do it 4th and 2.
Right. Or 4th and 2, 4th and 2 and change. Let's just talk about the other NFL.
Real quick, and then we can talk about the other rules.
Yeah.
Schefter just tweeted out, not the whole list of teams that sided with the Eagles to keep the tush push, but 4 other teams have been named being against banning it, so in favor. Can you guess the 4 teams we know so far?
Oh, my God.
Buffalo.
Nope, not Buff.
How would we?
Baltimore.
You're right.
So
Baltimore is one of them.
Yeah.
The Patriots, the Jets, and the Lions.
Okay.
You're right. You never would have guessed that. But.
I mean, it's completely random.
Well, so was in your comedy show when we were supposed to guess that the guy.
That's true.
And
then I admitted that.
You're right.
Part of the shtick
sometimes
that I
in the
said,
minute
how the hell
you
would
think
you
it's a
know
good
that?
idea. Other rules, real quick. They took the tabled the discussion of reseeding for playoffs. Off the table.
I heard that they're.
Why did they do that?
I heard that they're waiting. They want to wait till they go to the 18-game schedule to do that. Because when they go to the 18-game schedule, you're going to play all but 4 teams in your conference, and they feel like it's more balanced within the conference. I don't know. I thought they should have changed that years ago. I'll tell you something else I've been talking about for 2 years that they should do, maybe longer.
Just get rid of the penalty when they throw the ball down the field and the offensive player got to come back because it's an underthrown ball and it causes a pass interference. Throw it out.
Yeah, well, I think one of you guys said
throw it
getting
out.
rid of the automatic first down on that.
I can't stand it. Throw it out.
That's true, too. But, no, I want to see if they do – they pushed back the extra point because they thought it would make it a better football play because you might be able to miss the kick, right?
Oh,
it's been a great rule change.
It has been a great.
They are missing.
Here's another rule change that would make the NFL better, and it's not even close. They changed the rule today. So when they went to the stupid new kick system, which nobody really understands.
I still don't get it.
Right. Part of the rule is
yes, you do. They took the collisions out.
Part of the rule.
No, I don't understand the zones.
Where
the ball drops and stuff. I don't get that.
Boy, what are you talking about?
Like there's different rules about where you get the ball.
See, you don't know either.
But wait, forget it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're talking about it in a minute.
So last year, you could only try an onside kick if you were losing in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it. Now you can try an onside kick as long as you're losing any time in the game.
Oh,
okay?
That just got changed.
Yeah, that just got changed. But here's the thing. They should get rid of the onside kick. It's never successful anymore. I mean, except the Browns against the Jets.
I was about to say, well, we just talked about it.
How many onside kicks were successful last year, Mike?
It has 6% success rate. I don't know the exact.
Okay, so it almost never happens,
True.
right? They should do, and I'm not sure of the exact yardage. What would
4th
be
and
the
15.
A 4th and 15, a 4th and 20,
at
whatever it is.
25 or whatever.
If you get the first down, you keep the ball. If you don't get it, the other team gets the ball wherever it is. Wouldn't everybody rather see that? I guess there's some old school football fans that are like, defense, whatever. It feels like cheating or whatever.
Do you think there's coming a time where the NFL will lose ratings?
I mean,
it's
at
hard.
some point, but not anytime soon.
See, and if they start losing ratings, then I think you would have to do something like that to spice it up. But right now, they're like,
well, they keep making changes, though. It's not like they don't make changes.
Yeah, but
there's just nothing like the NFL here in the States. I mean, it's what we live and die for.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, you'd think there'd be at some point an oversaturation, 17 games, 18 games, Sunday night. They have games every day of the week now. We're playing on Christmas. We're playing, and it doesn't matter. Like the NBA, you used to think of the NBA as Christmas. That's over.
The Chiefs.
That's over. The NFL owns Christmas now.
I think last year the Chiefs played every day, out like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, and the NFL now owns Christmas, and it does whatever it wants to do. It's a monster.
Yeah.
So at some point in our life, maybe in our lifetime, maybe things will turn a little bit, but
I just can't.
It feels impossible right now.
I just can't see it. I mean, unless something really bad happens with like injuries or something.
I don't even think that would do it. I think the only thing that could hurt the NFL is if there was proof that like there was a massive fixing scheme, which why the NFL would do that would be so beyond stupid. You have nothing to gain and so much to lose. But outside, that's the only thing to me that I could see.
You know what the wildest game that was ever been scheduled in my lifetime?
What's that?
Remember during COVID, where I think the Ravens had to play
like a Tuesday,
Pittsburgh or something.
Yeah,
it was like a Tuesday at like
4
p.m. or something.
Right, yeah.
It was the wildest thing ever.
There was some weird games that year.
What they had because I think they were saying like we're not gonna make up games, but then they made that game up.
Right,
it was like a Tuesday at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
like,
well they had to push it back because
of COVID. I think somebody get COVID or something?
I think too many guys on the team had COVID. I don't remember what the hell it was. We're all trying to forget that year, you know.
And it was like a bunch of backups playing.
Yeah. That was a wild time. That was a mess. All right, Mike.